Hey, Judge, can y'all see me?
No.
I don't know why. Look, I'm gonna go out and try to come back in, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Andrew, it's good to see you back.
Good to be back, Mr. Brooks. How have you been?
Every day above ground's a good day, sir.
Amen to that.
Huh? No. Well, let's see. Do we have Miss Donica here? No. Miss Beatty. All right. Well, we can go to Sullivan. Yeah, I feel like I'm more at home. Okay, we'll go on the record and cause numbers 38699, 38632, and 37885, all style state versus Adrian Sullivan. And I have counsel for both sides present, defendants present. And as far as 38699, I need to make some clarifications if I haven't already, but the court found the allegations to be true. That would be allegations 1 through 10. And the court has heard evidence in the disposition hearing, and the court's reviewed the pre-sentence investigation in this case. And so on this case, I'm prepared to make a ruling at this time. In this case, the court finds that, again, the allegations are to be true. The court will assess punishment, find the defendant. No, the court will grant the state's motion to revoke probation. It's the judgment of the court that he'll be sentenced to 11 months in a state jail facility. And cause numbers 37885 and 38632-CR 37885 allegations 1 through 9 are true. 38632 allegations 1 through 10 are true. The court will make a finding at this time in both cases that the evidence substantiates granting the state's motions to adjudicate. The court, however, will continue him on probation at this time. Any reason why sentence should not be pronounced in the state jail felony case?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sullivan, you're sentenced to 11 months in a state jail facility. You'll be remanded to the custody of sheriff, who will transport you to the appropriate facility to begin serving out the sentence. The sentence begins today. You are given credit on the sentence that you're legally entitled to receive any day thereafter. The court will make a finding at this time that you are presumptively entitled to receive diligent participation credit if and when that's received by the court. That will come through an email that will be sent by state jail. Mr. Sullivan, as far as your other two cases, hopefully you understood that you'll remain on probation. I heard lots of excuses, sir, during the hearing, and working in different jobs for cash only. You probably, when you're finished with your state jail felony sentence, you probably need to find some employment at some places where there's a little bit better tracking. I'd be concerned about cash only payments. Just my thoughts. Your relationship with Miss Moore, it may not be the healthiest. I know y'all are not married. Y'all do have a child together. So you've got some obligations to your child. Where Miss Moore fits into the picture with you, that's something that you're going to have to decide, sir. You do have a child together, so you've got that responsibility. Remember, sir, choices that you make have consequences. So the alcohol consumption, it's not an option to drink every once in a while or once a month. When you're on probation, sir, you can't drink at all. You understand that? All right, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
apologize. May I clarify? Are you putting him back on deferred probation?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Sullivan, you have a right in all these cases to appeal the court's ruling, and certainly Ms. Watkins can advise you on that. If you choose to appeal, that's fine. If you choose not to, hopefully, Mr. Sullivan, we won't see each other again on these two cases that are left over. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I feel like I know a little bit about what's going on in your world, but you've got a lot of growing up to do, sir, when you get out. And based on the PSI, which was very extensive, I have good understanding, but life is rough, sir, and we all have issues, but I assume you'll overcome them and treat probation like a job when you're discharged, or when you're discharged out of state jail. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that concludes these three hearings. I'll get a judgment whenever it's presented.
And Sherry, I know that he obviously has credit since the date of arrest on this case, which is, I believe, November the 6th of 2020. I think he has not much, but a few days credit from the original arrest, and I will confirm that and get back to you later today with that.
So I guess I'm just confused. Are you saying as part of him being placed back on deferred probation, he is going to be sanctioned with his back jail time?
No, ma'am, I'm talking about in the credit card abuse case, the judge sentenced him to 11 months state jail.
Yes.
And so he has credit since the date of arrest for this revocation on that case. And that would be for the judgment that you guys have to prepare on the state jail felony credit card abuse case.
Okay.
And he has credit from
Okay.
November the 6th but he will also have credit. I don't think it's much time. I think he bonded out fairly quickly when he was originally arrested on that credit card abuse case. But I will confirm those dates and get back with you as soon as I can.
Okay,
All right?
Demara, may I address your client directly?
Sure.
Adrian, understand that you're still on probation for the other two offenses. So whenever you get out of state jail, as soon as you get out, you contact me, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
And Adrian, I'll be back. I'll be over to speak with you later this week.
Okay.
All right.
You know, probation is. Okay. You be sure to contact you when you get out. Bailiff, we'll call you back up for your thumbprint.
Hey, Melissa, are you there?
I am. I'm on the phone. It'd be just a second.
Okay.
Apparently, Miss Donica is in a hearing in the CCL that started at 8:30, and Miss Beatty is being called right now.
Hey, Judge, I was going to ask Melissa, but she's on the phone. My understanding is that we are set at 10 o'clock for the continuation of the CPS case,
Yes.
but I won't really be required to be here until about 10:45.
10:45 or, yeah, I did that, and then Miss Basnet said she had a award ceremony to go to. So having missed one of my kids' award ceremony one year, I thought you better go to that.
Yeah. So I will log back on then at 10:45 or a
That's
little
fine.
before. But if I'm needed before that, if you could just have Melissa text me and I'll log on
Yeah.
whenever.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think it won't be 10 o'clock for sure. And I'm
Okay.
assuming it'll be closer to 11 because she said it was from 10:15 to 10:45. And I said, please don't be rushed to leave early or run over people getting back to your office. So
Okay. Great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
thank you. Mr. Garcia, are you present, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your attorney is in another hearing in another court, and that started at 8:30. So she's not here just yet, sir. So just hang tight. All right.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Your Honor, what did you say about Miss Beatty?
Melissa's calling her.
Okay,
She's usually right on time, so we don't know what's happened.
okay.
Judge, I was able to get a hold of Mr. Sipes.
Uh-huh.
He advised that Miss Beatty is in an in-person hearing in Judge Ermintinger's court and that he will get on and do the writ hearing in just a second. I just forwarded him the code so he can get on.
Okay.
I don't think they know the secret way to get the notice of hearings back from e-file.
Yeah, I guess we need to do a manual on that.
Honestly, I don't even know how. I guess I should go over there and ask.
So I'm signing notice of hearings, but they don't send them to the attorneys.
From what I've gathered from other law offices, they have to keep a running list if they have a notice of hearing attached.
Uh-huh.
And then they have to keep going back in to see if it's been signed and dated. It doesn't alert them like when I was in Ellis County, it automatically alerted you it's been signed and set by the judge, and it alerted all the parties.
Is that a is that a
sorry?
software thing?
I'm not for sure. Josh said that that's the only way Odyssey can do it.
What does Ellis County use? Not Odyssey, I guess.
No, they use a mom and pop built software.
Really?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, maybe mom and pop is the way to go if we can do something like that. I don't know.
Well,
LGS
unfortunately
reminded me a
for
lot of
Melissa-
AS400.
Well, they're wanting to switch to Odyssey. I know Judge Chapman's been trying for quite some time. I think there's an extra step that the clerk can do that would alert the attorneys. But is what I gathered from other counties that have Odyssey.
Your Honor, we had Odyssey when I was in Victoria, and it has a procedure to, every time you sign a document, to send a copy of it to everybody who's listed on there.
Huh.
And every time anything's filed, it'd go to every attorney on the list. So, I mean, Odyssey will do that. I don't know whether the one here will, but Odyssey will do it.
That may be something, because apparently this is an issue that happens quite a bit, not just in criminal, but family, civil. If you want to get Mr. Kendrick Thomas up, I think Mr. Sipes is here now.
Trying to make sure I get it up for you. I have to speak up a little bit.
Mr. Sipes, I know you're here on behalf of Miss Beatty, who's in a hearing in another court. I think what I understand is that for whatever reason, y'all didn't get the notice sent back to you for today's hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm not sure if it was that or just miscalendared on our end of it. I'm not going to sit here and say that there was a mistake anywhere other than our end of it at this point, because I don't know enough about it. But we are going to just ask the court if we could get it reset for a different date. I talked to Miss Beatty, and she's not prepared for it at this juncture, as well as the fact that she's in the 443rd doing it in person this morning.
Well, I know that she's always here. You're always here when you have a scheduled, so it seemed kind of odd to me. So I think that what's happening is y'all aren't getting your notices, which I thought they were automatic, they should be automatically sent to you, but apparently some attorneys know to keep checking back. And so I thought that was the whole point of e-file, was that you got it automatically, but for some reason it's not happening. So, but anyway, did you need to speak to Mr. Thomas in a breakout room, or do you just want it to be reset?
Just if you can, let it be reset, and then I'll explain to him our situation over here as to why Ms. Beatty asked for it to be reset.
Okay.
But at this point, we're not prepared to go forward on it, or at least I'm not prepared to go forward on it.
Okay.
And again, I apologize because I actually did get the docket yesterday, and typically we communicate between ourselves, and I just didn't talk to her about it either. So, but if we could just get it reset, and then I'll explain to Mr. Thomas the basis behind it.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, there we go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry,
I'll
Mr.
make-
Wolf.
No, I'll make a note.
I'm just glad Lindy's okay because I agree with the judge. She's never late for court, so.
I'm shocked. I would figure if anyone messed up, it would have been me as opposed to her. So.
Oh, sure, it's okay when you say it.
No,
But
I'll admit
y'all
it.
were on national TV. This is just not like Stars to not be on somewhere on time.
Right. Right.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll try again.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. And again, thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Okay. I guess we're in recess till 10 a.m. for a motion for new trial.
Your Honor, are you going to stick me and Mr.
Carlos?
Thomas into a
Yes.
breakout room for just a
Sorry
second?
about that.
Don't we have Mr. Garcia?
Oh.
He's going
Yes. Sorry. I just kind of go down the list and I'm like, okay.
Did Mr. Aguilar's hearing come off? Carlos Clemens?
Yes, him and Sherry signed an agreed order.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Judge, I'm sorry, I missed something. Are y'all gonna do Garcia? Or is it gonna be
Yes,
put off till
yes.
10?
Yeah, apparently Ms. Donika's in another hearing right now that started at 8:30. So, yes. Disregard what I said about we'll be back at 10. We're still here.
Judge, are your kids already out?
No.
When do they get out? Next week or this week?
Well, one is out as of yesterday, but the other three are still until the 8th or the 9th. They're not happy about it either.
They're probably not doing nothing either though, are they?
You're probably right.
I mean, whenever my kid was in school, the last 2 weeks, they didn't do nothing. Once that STAR test was took, they didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Watch videos.
I know. Yeah, I think it's a different world now.
It's a pesky state funding, though. They have to have a certain number of days or they don't get the funds.
I know. So they can sit in class and do nothing as long as they're there.
Yes. It's one of my teachers used to say, we just need your warm body in a seat.
I know, and that's kind of sad that it's done that way, you know. But there's a lot of people that work that way too. They just go to work 8 to 5 and they're just there.
When I worked for Chase Bank on April Fool's Day, we got an email, not an email, a letter, like it was delivered to everybody's desk on letterhead from the CEO. And it said, it has been brought to my attention that employees who are dying on the job are failing to fall down. This action must stop as it is becoming impossible to tell which of you are doing your normal routines versus those of you who have deceased. And it looked very official, and it just it took people a while to catch on to the April Fool's joke. But Mr. Sipes just can't get away from us now.
Just letting the court know that we're done in the breakout room, and thank you
Okay.
very much for understanding.
Thank you. Did you find any ammo?
I think that's it for us in the jail.
Yes, sir.
Did the county court at law give us an ETA on Miss Donica or?
I haven't spoken to the county court at law. I just, no, I don't, well, Melissa got that information, so I'm not sure what the ETA is, but
Ms. Shimmer, you've got that plea, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go check on, because the 10 o'clock was supposed to be Isaac's, and with him out, I need to make sure that's covered, so I will be back in a few minutes.
so you shouldn't have any.
Hey, Judge, while we have a lull in action, may I address Mr. Garcia and ask him about his residence and stuff?
Sure.
Hey, Mr. Garcia, can you unmute? I'm Tim Brooks with the probation department. I understand you're probably going to get probation if the judge goes that way, but while we got a lull in action, I want to ask you, where do you live at? I can't hear you. Try one more time.
Yeah.
Nope, still can't hear you.
Maybe turn your volume up. I heard you earlier when you responded, so.
Nope, still nothing.
The yellow box doesn't even go.
We still can't hear you, Mr. Garcia, but we tried. We'll wait until your attorney gets here and then I'll ask you after the proceeding.
Can y'all hear Mr. Garcia now?
No.
Yes, ma'am. I think, are you talking, the lady who's standing next to him?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am, I can. Now, Mr. Garcia, where do you live at?
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Brooks. My name is Ashley. I'm one of Carrie's legal assistants. Carrie is not on just yet. She is in another hearing in CCL right now. She should be logging on soon. Is that going to be okay?
That's fine, ma'am. I was just trying to ask him where he lives so I could, because we kind of was waiting. So I thought we'd go ahead and at least find out where he lived so I could have that information.
Okay, Okay, that should be perfectly fine. And I'll let Carrie know that y'all are getting ready to get started.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Garcia, can you tell me where you live?
Oh, yeah, I need to make notes in there.
Mr. Garcia, can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I need to get.
Sorry, I'm in CCL, and we're trying to negotiate. So I've got this going on my iPad and CCL on my desktop. So I'm here whenever y'all need me to be here.
I'm ready to go. I haven't seen the plea packet though.
Let me mute you so I can holler. Okay.
Okay.
I know I saw it.
I think I saw something come across the email this morning.
I've just seen the judgment and the Morton log. That was it.
All right, Judge, we figured out what happened is, and I couldn't e-file if you offered me $1 million.
Yeah,
But apparently what happened is you go to draft and then you have to hit send, and she filed all of these at the same time, and somehow the send button didn't get hit. So she's hitting the send button. I'm not
Okay.
sure what that means. I'll have them call the clerk's office and tell them to push it through to you,
okay,
if that's all right.
that's fine.
We kind of had a lot going on. We were in a hearing in CCL until after 7 last night. So
Oh, are
and
you?
I think because you had people going back and forth.
Yeah. Well, they went forth, but they never came back.
Yeah, well, there's a reason.
Yeah.
It was kind of what you would commonly refer to as a cluster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I understand that word, but usually there's more to that word.
All right, usually there is for me too. It's a CPS case, so that's probably enough said. You know what I mean?
Well, I know it's lots of fun. So what's your role in that case?
I represent the interveners who are the foster dads.
Okay.
It should be in your queue per Ashley, Judge, and I apologize. We apologize. I said, we were juggling as many balls as we could, and
I see it.
dropped one. Beautiful.
Okay, let me just sign everything and then we'll get started. I think Mr. Garcia was having some issues with his audio, but I think he's good now.
He's on one of my 2 laptops. I've got my other client on my new laptop. We'd had some trouble with this one, the old one. In worst case scenario, I'll get him in here with me because he's in my building.
Okay.
Marvin, let's see if we can hear you. Unmute yourself and let's see if we got audio for you.
Can you hear me now?
We sure can. Perfect.
Okay. Oh. Well, I get ahead of myself and then I start pulling the files out.
Oh gosh, we don't ever do that.
Okay. All right, we'll go on the record in D40533-CR. I think I'm echoing somewhere. And State versus Marvin Garcia, counsel for both sides present. Do y'all hear the echo?
Yes.
I wonder if I need to get Mr. Garcia to mute himself until I.
Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes. I'll have I'll mute myself too. Let's see if that helps.
Okay. What about now? Yeah, now there's no echo. So we have State's Counsel present, Defense Counsel, Mr. Garcia. Is that your full and complete name, Marvin Garcia?
Yes, sir.
All right. And sir, it's the court's understanding you're wishing to enter a plea of guilty to the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Is that correct?
I didn't get an answer.
Yes, sir. Are you wishing to enter a plea of guilty to that offense?
Can't hear him.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you do understand what you're pleading guilty to. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Donica, do you wish to waive a reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge. I'm sorry. I've got John. I can hear Johnny talking on my computer, and I don't know how to mute him. And my other one.
Well, I know one way to mute him, tell him to be quiet.
I'm muted.
Record can so reflect. Mr. Garcia, I have documents that appear to have your signature on them. They are written waivers, written plea admonishments, a waiver of your right of appeal, a judicial confession, and an evidence discovery log. Did you sign these documents? Was that a yes? Did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything you signed?
I sure do.
You understand, sir, that you have a right to have a jury trial and you're waiving that right.
Yes, sir.
You understand you also have a right to have the same jury assess punishment if you were found guilty.
Yes, sir.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is a second-degree felony. It carries a range of punishment anywhere from 2 to 20 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division and a fine not to exceed $10,000. You understand the range?
Yes, sir.
It's the court's understanding, sir, you've entered into a plea agreement with the state through your attorney. Is that correct? Mr. Garcia, is that correct that you've entered into a plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
The court will not agree to be bound by the plea agreement. However, the court follows the plea agreement. It does cut off your right of appeal except by permission of the court. Do you understand that? Did you say yes?
Yes.
I'm having a
Gary, can
hard
you
time.
mute again?
And
Yes,
did
sir.
you say use? Okay. Now, the court will not agree to be bound by the plea agreement. However, the court follows the plea agreement. It cuts off your right of appeal except by permission of the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the consequences of your plea of guilty?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney, Ms. Donica, are you satisfied with the representation you received from her in this case?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Donica, your client certainly appears to be sane and mentally competent. Anything your client has said or done that would cause you to believe otherwise?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
Court this time will find the defendant is sane and mentally competent. Court will find the defendant has freely and voluntarily entered his plea of guilty, that he understands the consequences of his plea of guilty. The court will accept that plea of guilty and either find the defendant guilty of the offense alleged in the indictment or consider deferring a finding of guilt. I have in front of me states 1, a judicial confession signed by the defendant, state seeking to have that exhibit admitted.
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted. Anything further from either side before I get to the plea agreement that to be recited?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state have a recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is upon a finding of guilt and the finding of a deadly weapon, not a firearm, adjudication is deferred for 5 years, $1,000 fine, $290 court cost, 150 hours community service within 180 days, no contact with Devin Heaton, anger management course, alcohol and drug assessment counseling, drug offender program, weekly AA or NA meetings, depending upon what probation finds in the evaluation, and a hair strand test every 90 days.
The only, I'm sorry.
What was the fine amount?
Yeah.
I was going to
It's
say
a-
court-appointed attorney fees. If he
Yeah,
was-
I'm hired.
Okay,
And Judge, the fine was deferred as well. The recommendation had a deferred fine. So in other words, as long as he follows the terms and conditions of his deferment, then the fine is also deferred.
Okay, and what was that deferred fine?
$1,000.
Sir, do you understand you have a right to petition this court in the future for an order of non-disclosure?
Yes, sir.
Court at this time will make a finding, the evidence substantiates finding you guilty of the offense alleged in the indictment. However, the court will defer a finding of guilt for a period of 5 years, defer the payment of the fine. Court costs are assessed. Sir, do you read and write the English language?
Unmute Marvin.
Yes, ma'am.
You read and write the English language? Mr.
Can you hear
Garcia,
Marvin?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you read and write the English language?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Do you live here in Navarro County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You will be reported as an officer here. I believe you'll be doing an intake with Mr. Brooks here shortly. You understand the court's not finding you guilty this morning.
Yes, sir.
If you have any questions about your probation, sir, you need to ask your attorney or Mr. Brooks. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right,
And
sir.
Judge, I'm sorry. I apologize, but I just looked at the orders I got them yesterday, and I did not get a chance to look at them since I was in court but both of the orders are going to have to be corrected with reference to the deferral of the fine.
Okay. Well,
And I apologize to Ms. Schumer that I didn't notice that yesterday. And Ms. Schumer got the order from me. I mean, got the recommendation. I had to forward it to her. Somehow it didn't make it into the file. So.
okay. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get those new ones here in the near future. Sir, in this case, you've waived your right of appeal. That concludes this hearing. You're going to have to come to the courthouse, sir, at some point and get your prints on the judgment, the deferred order. And Mr. Brooks, you want to give Mr. Garcia some direction?
Yes, Mr. Garcia, give me a contact number for you. A good phone number.
903-879-7799.
903-879, what was the last four?
7799.
Okay, and you said you live here in town?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have something to write with? And let me give you some numbers. Or Carrie, can you write it down for him?
I got it.
Okay, the phone number is 903-654-3068. That's my office phone number. And then my cell phone number is 903-354-4719.
What was the next one, sir?
The last one is 903-354-4719.
Okay.
What I want you to do, I want you to come in at 1 o'clock. By then, we should have the amended orders. And I'm going to do your intake. You come down to the probation department. You know where that's at?
Downtown?
No, it's, you know where Brookshire's grocery
We'll tell
store
him,
is?
Judge.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we'll tell him.
Okay. Carrie, if you'll have him here at 1 o'clock, we should have the orders by then, and we'll complete his intake, okay?
Yeah, and Sherry, where and when shall I send him over to the courthouse? I'll hold him here until you tell me y'all are ready to send him downstairs. Will that be okay? Sherry?
are you talking to me?
Yes, the orders, are y'all once you get them redone, are you're gonna send them downstairs? You want to just call me when they're ready and I'll run him over to the courthouse? Are they already done, knowing you?
Oh, I'm assuming that they are not done.
Well, you hadn't had a chance to go out and tell them to redo them, so.
Okay. So we're just changing the judgment to say deferred
That's
after the 1,000?
Yes, that it's deferred.
Okay. I will give you a holler when they.
Perfect. I'll make him hang out here at my office until I hear back from you
All
or
right,
your office. All right?
that's good, thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate everybody.
thank you.
And welcome home, Mr. Wolf.
I don't think he's in there right now, Carrie.
All right.
I'll tell him.
Good. Thank you very much, Sherry.
All right. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, we'll be in recess till about 10.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank y'all.
I
Your Honor,
apologize
may I
for
have excuse